Good morning. Good morning. Okay. So today we discuss about waterways. Yes, waterways are the cheapest, slowest, and ancient means of transport. Okay. Now waterways we cannot go as fast as airways and roadways. Okay, so it is the slowest when compared to all other means of transport. Slowest, cheapest, very cheap when compared to airways, railways, roadways, and very ancient means of transport. In ancient time also I have seen people from other countries, Europeans and all, Vasco da Gama or Portuguese, French, they all beginning they came through waterways only, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it is also one of the ancient means of waterways. Okay, it carries bulky goods when compared to roadways, railways. More than railways also, we can carry goods in waterways. Okay, the cost price of transportation also less when compared to roadways and railways. Second thing is that it is eco-friendly or environment friendly when compared to roadways and railways and airways. Okay, we are living here, roadways and all, railways causing pollution and all. But you don't find the cities and towns and villages in the ocean and sea, no? So, that much pollution we don't find. Okay, next. India is a land of rivers. Every state we find some or other rivers. Okay, major or small, big or less river you find or not. So, and almost all the rivers they carry water. Few carry only certain season, but few of them like perennial rivers which we have throughout the year they have water. Okay, so we have two type of waterways in our country: inland and overseas. Inland within the country. Okay, so the waterway number one, national waterway number one is on river Ganga. On river Ganga, Allahabad to Haldia. Allahabad to Haldia. Haldia in West Bengal. Allahabad in Uttar Pradesh. Prayagraj. Okay na? So Prayagraj to Haldia. Okay. So you can write both as per your syllabus it is given now. You can write both Allahabad, Prayagraj, no problem. This is waterway number one because Ganga river is a perennial river. It carries water throughout the year. Okay, and later it goes and joins other river like Hooghly and all in West Bengal and all. Okay, so it has a very good source of water and used for the waterway. Waterway number two on river Brahmaputra. Okay, waterway number two on river Brahmaputra from Sadia to Dhubri. From Sadia to Dhubri in Assam. In which state? Assam. Okay. You know, in India, Brahmaputra is the only river where you find island in the river. Mostly you find island in the ocean and sea, you know. But in river Brahmaputra also we can find island. In Assam, there is an island on river Brahmaputra. Name of the island is Majuli. Okay, there is a village on that island. Some 400-500 people lives in that village. Okay, imagine. So it is like an island, like we have Andaman Nicobar and Lakshadweep islands, like that. This also is an island. Okay, so this is waterway number two on river Brahmaputra, one on river Ganga. Third waterway in Kerala on lagoons, canals. Okay. In Kerala, we find various lagoons. What is lagoon? Backwater of ocean and sea coming in interior part of the country. Known as lagoons. Okay. In that we find waterways. Various canals are there. Buckingham Canal. We have like Pulicat Lake, Chilka Lake. Okay. In Odisha. So like in Kerala also various lakes are there. on those lakes we find waterways 3 kilometer, 5 kilometer, 10 kilometer. Instead of going long way through roadways and all, people use shortcut through waterways to reduce the journey. Okay. Next, apart from that, national waterway on 4 on river Krishna and Godavari. See, our country, when we see the map of India, okay, India is slightly tilted toward the east side, slope type, slightly tilt. Okay, slope type is there. We all know that except 4 rivers, all the rivers in India joins in Bay of Bengal. Only 4 rivers: Narmada, Tapi, Mahi, Sabarmati. They join in Arabian Sea. Remaining all the rivers, Ganga, Krishna, Godavari, Tungabhadra, Hooghly, Brahmaputra, they all join in Bay of Bengal. So in this region, the eastern coast of India has lot of water throughout the year. Okay, that is why we find very good waterways, inland waterways in the eastern part of India. We don't find any waterways in the western part of India here. Inland waterways. Okay now? Next. As our country is a peninsular country, 3 side water, 1 side land, we have very good coastal line. You know, total coastal line of India is 7,516.6 kilometer. 7,516.6 kilometer from Gujarat to West Bengal. And total 9 states in India are there which having the coastal line. Gujarat, 1, 2 Maharashtra, 3 Goa, 4 Karnataka, 5 Kerala, 6 Tamil Nadu, 7 Andhra Pradesh, 8 Odisha, 9 West Bengal. Total 9 states are there where we have the coastal line. So we have very good coastal line. That is why there are 12 major seaports in India in these coastal states. 12 major seaports. 6 on the west coast and 6 on the east coast. See, number 1 in Kandla, Gujarat. 2 and 3 are in Maharashtra, Navi Mumbai and Jawaharlal Nehru Seaport. Okay. Third one is Marmagaon in Goa. Okay. Fourth one is New Mangalore in Karnataka. Fifth one, Cochin, Kerala. Next, Tuticorin, Tamil Nadu. Chennai, Tamil Nadu. Visakhapatnam, Andhra Pradesh. Paradip, Odisha. Haldia, West Bengal. Kolkata, West Bengal. Now, let me tell about the specialty of these seaports. Among all, Mumbai seaport is largest seaport in India. Very very important for objectives.
Largest and busiest.
Largest and busiest. जब largest होगा तो busiest भी रहेगा. Okay, because alone Mumbai seaport 1/4 of the total cargo handles by that seaport only. Okay. Because it is the western part, or entire Gulf countries and other European countries, African countries, American countries, okay, it covers. Okay, and we all know that Gujarat and Maharashtra are very good in industrial sector, developed states. So lot of goods are manufactured and exported, even imported also. So it is very busiest also. Okay, na? Next. Second largest seaport of India is Chennai port. Chennai seaport is the second largest seaport. It is also known as artificial seaport. Chennai seaport is also artificial, means completely man-made seaport. Okay. First cement plant of India was established in the year 1904 in Chennai only. The main reason was when the construction of the seaport started, they required lot of cement. If they established the cement industry in the other part in 1904, okay, when there we don't have much proper road transport facility, it will become very costly and time taking to transport the raw material. That is why they established in Chennai only. Okay now? So Chennai seaport is the second largest seaport in India and it is completely artificial. Any doubt? Third largest seaport is Visakhapatnam seaport, and it is also known as landlocked seaport. Means surrounded by land. It is also known as natural harbor. Natural harbor means the place where the seaport is made. The geographical location, condition of that area is naturally supporting that seaport from the various problems like waves, cyclones and all. Why Chennai seaport is artificial seaport? See, in our country mostly we hear from month of October till December cyclones coming mostly eastern part of the country. Odisha or Tamil Nadu or Andhra Pradesh or West Bengal. We hear or not? Okay, so to protect, so almost other seaports they have protection, but Chennai seaport is completely open. See, this area is completely open area because all the river flows no. So they make this area delta area, plain area. Okay, so very less here and there only we have mountains and hills. Otherwise, this area is completely plain area. But here we have high mountains and all in this area. Okay, that's why you don't hear frequently cyclone in Maharashtra, cyclone in Karnataka, cyclone in Kerala. But we hear frequently cyclone affecting Tamil Nadu coast, cyclone affecting Odisha coast, cyclone affecting West Bengal coast. Every year, recently also West Bengal cyclone came. Okay, so this area is completely open area. So it is very directly affected. That is why, but Visakhapatnam port has a natural protection. That is why it is known as natural harbor and third largest seaport in India. Next one is almost all the seaport in India is on the sea only or ocean only, except one seaport. Kolkata seaport is known as river seaport, riverine seaport, because it is on river Hooghly. Kolkata seaport is on river Hooghly. But this seaport has a problem of siltation. Siltation means sand. See, we know that river water will always keep on moving and it carries sand and silt along with that moving water. So, and we all know that our country is slightly sloped toward the east. So, the rivers like Ganga or Hooghly, they carry those silt and all. The deposit near the banks and here they mixing, joining the sea and all. So, height of those sands it will be increasing when the water will be decreasing. In summer, water level comes down every river. We all know that in every river, summer water level comes down. So, during summer, the ships in Kolkata seaports, they cannot come up to the port. They face the problem of siltation. The bottom part of the ship may hit the sand and all, they may not come. So to overcome the problem of Kolkata seaport, Haldia seaport was constructed in West Bengal only. Okay. So most of the ships during summer, which they cannot come to the seaport in Kolkata, they are diverted towards the Haldia port. Earlier, when this port was not constructed, what used to happen? You know, they should take small ships and all boats till the 150 kilometers interior part of the ocean. They used to load and upload from the main ships and all. So it used to be risky type and time consuming and all. Extra expenditure and all used to occur. So overcome that problem, Haldia seaport was constructed. So we have total 12 major seaports, 6 on the east and 6 on the west coast. Okay. Any doubt in the waterways? Next. After waterways, we have airways. Huh? Central Government of India. Okay. These all comes under the Central Government of India. Next. Again, we see next one we have airways. Airways are the fastest, costliest and quickest means of transport. If you want to travel very fast during emergency, okay, to save our time, we use airways. Okay. Now, at present, most of the Indian cities are well connected with the airways. Almost many cities. Okay. Airway, we have connection with the airways. Okay. Indian Airlines or Indian Airways in India, Indian Airline, it was nationalized in the year 1953. 1953 was nationalized. Okay, before that it was not nationalized. We have two type of services. Okay, international services and domestic services. Domestic means within the country. Okay, and national means beyond the country to the neighboring countries, even far off. Apart from that, we use various private sector air services like Pawan Hans helicopters are there in India. Okay, they are also used for by private peoples and various places. Suppose you go to some northern part of country like Amarnath, Kedarnath, Badrinath, or you go to Vaishno Devi and all, you see, so those places people are using air services and all. Okay, apart from that, northeastern states of India where we don't have rail connectivity, we don't have proper road network. So mostly the people use air transport to go to the northeastern part of India. Apart from that, the places where we cannot reach by railways, roadways, waterways, we use airways. Okay? Apart from that, during emergency, flood time, you see, airways are very useful to rescue the people and all. During accident, relief and all in the hilly mountain areas, we see people are airways is used. Okay, so airways is used in those places where we cannot use other means of transport. Okay, apart from that, we have oil refineries in Arabian Sea, Bombay High, where we also use the airways to reach those places and all to come. Okay, because ship if you take lot of time, but airways within less time, less span of time you can use it. Okay, next. So advantages of airways is that it is fastest means of transport. We can use it in those places where we cannot use the other means of transport. See, there are certain forest area, hilly area, mountain area where we cannot go by other means of transport, but we use the airways. Okay, but it is little costly when compared to other transport. In India, we uses other private sector planes also like Indigo, Jet Airways, SpiceJet. Okay, apart from this, other countries flights also operating like Arab Emirates, British Airways, Lufthansa. Okay, so Malaysian Airlines, like various other countries airlines also operating in India. So now airways has become now a daily or routine part of in people's life nowadays because of in this busy world. Okay, and busy world, busy schedule. Okay, to avoid the or to save the time. Okay, to avoid the wastage of time. Okay, the people are using mostly airways. Okay, you can go in any part of the country by airways and you can come back to your home within the day. Do or not? Within the same day, you can go to any part of India, north, south, east, west, and you can return back or not. You can have to 4 hours business dealing also, and you can return back also. Okay. Now, various European countries mostly they use to travel from one city to another city. They use air transport only mode. Okay, it is very frequent there. So, what happened when the development of any country increases, the per capita income of the people increases, the people also prefer various modern means of transport and all. Okay, so next after airways, communication.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes. See, human beings are known as social animal. We live in society. Okay? And to survive, to live, to have better understanding, we need to communicate with each other. Communicate or not? In our life, daily life, communication is very, very important. For a healthy life, for a proper understanding, communication is very, very important. Sometimes you see people relation get disturbed because of wrong communication, because of no communication, because of not proper communication. Happens or not? So if you have to have proper communication, good communication. Okay. Similarly, for a development of a country, nation, the communication system must be very accurate and it should be much sophisticated, developed one. Okay. Now we have mostly two type of communication: personal communication and mass communication. Okay, personal communication and mass communication. What is mass communication? A type of communication by which we can come in touch, come in contact, or we can inform any message or any information to a large number of people at a time.
Television.
Okay, such type of communication is known as mass communication. Example:
Television.
newspaper, television. Suppose you on news channel, any particular news channel, it can be watched by at a time many people throughout the country, throughout the world. Can be watched or not? Newspaper you take, some hundreds and thousands and lakhs of people can read same. Suppose any newspaper is there. For example, the Dainik Jagran, or Times of India, or Hindustan Times. Okay. So same news will be printed or not? So many people are reading the news at a time. So it will be spread to many people. Magazines, articles, radio, DD Bharati, Prasar Bharati, Doordarshan, FM channels. Okay. So these all are source of mass communication. Live telecasting of any program, various games and sports are there, live telecasting. Why they do? So that people in different parts of the country, parts of the world, they can watch at a time what is happening. Okay. So this all comes under mass communication. Personal communication, face to face or telephonic conference by writing letter. But now when mobile phone has come, WhatsApp has come, Facebook has come, emails have come, fax has come, this all has reduced the importance of letter in our daily life. The importance of letter has been reduced. Now only official letters we are seeing. Okay. Otherwise earlier in 90s and all till 2005, 6, 7, 8, 10. Okay. We used to see people mostly writing letter to each other. Okay. But now it has been replaced by modern means of communication like news, mobile phones, WhatsApp, net, this mails and all. This has replaced or not? Because these are the means of communication within seconds. We can communicate with the people who are sitting far distance, thousands and thousands of kilometers who are sitting also can come to know within seconds or not. We can come to contact. So in future, now later video calling has been the personal. You feel that you are feeling both are sitting side by side and talking. That also feeling comes or not sometime when you are having video. Now video conferencing, that also to the mass people you can do, happen live telecasting. So this is nothing but advancement of technology. Okay, that is nothing but growth, improvement of technology we can say. So the country whose technology in communication and transport is improving, that country will be moving towards the development. Okay, now next, India has the largest network of postal services in the world. India has the largest network of postal services in the world. Okay, we have two types of postal services: first class and second class. First class postal services like letters and postcards, which are airlifted. Second class mails are known as periodicals, books, magazines and all. They come under second class mails. Now, to have faster and speedy delivery of these, okay, various channels are made like Rajdhani channel. Rajdhani channel is capital city. So from every state, we have GPO, General Post Office. Every city have, like Gorakhpur, you go to General Post Office will be there. There if you go, mostly that letter box will be there. You written some state's name will be there, city's name will be written. So if you directly, if you want to send to Delhi, you did not put your letter in the common box. In that box you put, that means they did not again separate. Suppose you are putting in a common box all the letters, then they have to see the pin code number and address, they have to separate it. But if you are putting in a particular box where particular city names are written, so directly they will empty the bag, that letter they will put in a bag, they will seal the right address, they will dispatch it. Very easy, saving the time or not. So for all this purpose, various channels are Madras Bhani channel, Green channel, Business channel, Metro channel, okay, mail channels, all different categories are made. Metro channels, you have metro cities in India, okay, so all those metro cities names will be written on those boxes, general post office will go and directly will, for example, if you know our village post office will be there now. Suppose for example Sajanwa is there, their post office there. If you post a letter in that, again from there it will come to Gorakhpur general post office. From there they will separate to various states or cities and all. But directly if you go and post in a Gorakhpur GPO general post office, there you will find various states or cities postal box. In that if you post, they did not waste their time. But again you have to waste your time from here to go there. So that happens. So people are given, so postman from your village, no, he'll go to GPO. From there he will take the letters of his village or his tehsil. That is why pin code is very necessary when we write a letter, when we send a letter. Pin number, that is the main to identify the state and the city or the village or tehsil. Okay na? Next, communication has been improving day by day. Earlier we used to have only one channel. If you ask your parents and all, DD Bharati or Doordarshan, okay? But nowadays multiple channels have come, various channels have come, various distributors have come, various telecasters have come or not, various choice has come, okay? So you know India is the largest filmmaker in the world, short filmmaker. More number of movies, shootings and all done in India only. Okay, see, most of the time you think that we watch serials or movies or any program and all, from certain things also we get certain knowledge, certain skills, certain, see if you watch a movie, any latest movie you watch, in that movie there will be some latest fashion, certain latest technology may be used, certain latest concept may be used which is happening in the world, because every movie is having certain concept, based on certain concept or not, certain issue or not. So there are also a type of, you know, source of information, distribution of information. Okay. Now, you know, in India more than 100 different languages types of newspapers are printed in India. More than 100 newspapers, different languages are printed in India. But majority of them are printed in English, Hindi and Urdu. Later, respective state language, like depends upon the population, like West Bengal, Bengali language is more, Maharashtra, Marathi, okay, and Gujarat, Punjab. But see, Hindi, mostly, almost we find Hindi newspaper in many parts of India. You take Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, okay, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, okay, many parts of Rajasthan, Haryana, Punjab. In this area, majority Hindi newspaper is circulated at bottom level, and English also commonly in main cities and all. If you see many English newspaper, so main English, Hindi, and then Urdu, and later we have state languages newspapers. That is why we know in India more than 100 languages newspapers are printed in different corners, different states of the country. Like that, only have periodical magazines. Weekly magazines, no? Saptahik magazines comes from every week. Like that, for students also various magazines. Champak, Chandamama, like various magazines you don't read here. So what you will know if you go and see very Champak, you know, in that weekly contest, weekly quiz, weekly competition, certain puzzles, crossword puzzles they will give you solve. Certain prizes they will be getting. You know that. So these all are published. If you see Times of India newspaper and Hindu newspaper is, in that also certain competition comes, crossword puzzles or quiz competitions, and the winners and something gifts they will be giving those newspapers to those. Okay, so like these newspapers are published not only for the elder people, even for the students. Student editorials also published. So if you go through those people, those newspapers and all, you may come to know what is happening outside of the world. What is the competition among my class level happening in the world? What is the technology? What is the latest syllabus? What is the main concept which I have to learn in my class up my standard? Okay, so don't be like a frog in the well. Frog that think that well is only the world for him. When he comes out of the well, then he come to know the world is very big and it is very colorful. Lot of challenges, lot of things are there to discover, to know, to learn in this world. Okay, so try to think about that. Okay, so we'll continue remaining. Okay.